Moose from Casco Bay, and you're listening to Derby Rocks.
Good one. Topical.
Hey, it's not like I've done this recently. Okay.
We're a bit rusty. Bear with us.
Go, roller girl! Look at that girl roll! Roller derby, save my soul.
Hey, happy Friday. Thank you for hanging out with us. Surprise, it's your old pals Shram and Cashman.
Hey.
Derby Rocz is live and in studio. Can you believe it?
I'm just blown
Hey.
away, yeah.
How are you, Cash?
I'm good. How are you, Mr. Schramm?
I'm doing well, man. I actually had a pretty good day. It was a little bit busy. I had a couple of appointments outside of work, and then I had a few meetings inside of work. So it was a busy day, but I'm feeling good. Glad that we got to pop in, and we're going to get to do a quick 25 minutes before we get out of here.
Yeah.
It is going to be a good show nonetheless if you haven't listened to us or listened to our interview with Marv previously. We're going to replay that one. Marv has had a ton of experience skating WFTDA and for Harm City or Charm City.
And now for
Penn Jersey Roller Derby and the Hooligans. As well as Team Maryland, and the Hooligans are going to be partaking in North American qualifiers coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah.
And Marv is one of the captains for Summer Affair, which is the weekend after. So a busy couple of weekends for our friend Marv. I'm excited. I miss her.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've seen her, so it's going to be great to see her for the weekend at Summer Affair. I'm looking forward to that.
It reminds me that I did see Marv, and I didn't get a chance to catch up because when they were in Buffalo back.
Oh, sure, yeah. So I forget exactly what happened, but like we were texting, and she was like, "Hey, don't forget," and then that's exactly what I did. I just didn't make it out.
Yeah.
But I think that was also shortly after Anderson was born. So
It was a while. It was early in the season.
maybe like March or something
Yep.
like that. Maybe.
Yep.
So. It just didn't work out,
Yeah.
but Marv's very cool and very forgiving,
Yeah.
and I love her very much. So it's going to be a great interview. If you haven't heard it before, stick around for that. I had a busy week. We've got some WFTDA stuff. We've got some MRDA stuff. We've got some scores.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, thanks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, and heck, we could even stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I think it's...
We really haven't talked about the open gender thing,
Sure, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
That's not what I was thinking.
No, but that's where I was going.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's very funny because I didn't go there. But yeah, since the last time we've been in studio, we still haven't had the chance to talk about WFTDA's attempt at a open gender. What would you call
a trial for like a year-long trial or something.
Yeah. They had tried it in the past, and I can't remember if that
COVID
was
killed
just out of COVID or if it was before COVID. But I don't think it got much interest at the time. But now there's a lot of these like maybe satellite teams or super teams that might want to give it a try.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that says you can't just take an MRDA team and go apply to be WFTDA too. You know what I mean? Like, why not, right?
Yeah. Play all the derbies.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Without stirring the pot, we could talk about it for a minute here.
Yeah.
But I think there's in some of the groups you could see that like not a lot of people are. At least some of the groups that I frequent, least, are not necessarily looking for that to be like a WFTDA thing. Like we don't really need that. You know what I mean?
Definitely, and
like we already really have that in the form of MRDA. So
there's some disadvantages to it and some of the wording and the way they put things, but there's also the quote unquote trial, which means it could just be dropped after a year.
At any point, right? Yeah. So I didn't read a lot into it, and I don't know if it does gain traction. That's great.
Yeah.
But there's also just so much derby already that we don't need like another offshoot. We already have...
And USARS is this weekend too.
Yeah, we already have these super teams.
Yeah.
We already have, USARS, which I think by nature is open gender. I don't think there's men's USARS versus women's USARS or anything like that. I mean, there very well could be. But... I don't know. If I'm wrong, please tell me, because I most of the USARs that I see, I'm thinks most of the USARs that I see, at least, is usually pretty well open gender.
Yeah,
but maybe not at like the championship level or something like that. I know for like I've seen like Team USA USARs men's and then Team USA women's USARs. I think, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am wrong. Who knows? Whatever. But yeah, I think there's enough open gender as far as like just unsanctioned
Juniors World
stuff.
Cup is going on right now.
Yeah, there's just so
You
much
know?
already going on, right?
Yeah.
So not to put Wifted down or anything like that. Not what we're aiming to do here. But there's just already the Open Gender League, and I think they have it pretty well handled.
I saw
I
that
guess.
there was going to be a meeting of the minds between a few of the organizations.
And I mean, I think it's about due time again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Especially, I mean, the two obvious ones are just Wifted and MRDA.
Yeah.
You know, USARS is always sort of going to do their own thing and kind of, I think they, and it's like United States roller sports or whatever. So it's a little bit more than just like roller derby. They've got their own thing.
They have their own World Cup too.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think WFTDA and MRDA, could probably come together and I don't know, change some things up, do some good. I know it's been a little while, so I would be interested in seeing how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be looking for messages and
Yeah,
things,
sure,
you know,
right.
you
Yeah,
know?
we'll see if it happens.
Yeah,
but
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it turns out. Maybe honestly, like not to be goofy or anything, but let's say there's more like regional. Maybe Wifted draws more regional teams in the Northeast than just like than what the MRDA has to offer. We know that it's a little bit harder for MRDA to recruit and do things like that, historically at least in the Northeast. But really, like the closest team right now is Toronto at like 3 hours, but that's also crossing an international border, which for some of us may not be so safe right now.
Yeah.
So, not ideal. Then after that, it's like 4.5 hours where, you look at WFTDA and like Rock City's nearest opponent is
Queens
an hour
City,
away,
or
and
Syracuse.
then beyond that, it's an hour and a half. Then, you've got another team 2 hours away in Erie. Then you've got another team 2.5 hours away in Schuylkill. Then so if Wifted all of a sudden draws a lot of regional teams, it might be worth our time to kind of hop into that and see how we can do and have teams that are a little bit closer to us.
And maybe that could be something to convince people who are like, maybe we could do a team, but we just don't have enough people. But maybe they do, or maybe. So it's interesting. Yeah, we'll see where that goes, but it's like, I think it's kicking off next year.
Or I mean, maybe other other leagues want to try and have like their own open gender.
Yeah.
Maybe like a WFTA league wants to start an open gender league. I think that's totally reasonable too. So we'll see how it shakes out.
It's just it's interesting because it's like we always ask people every week on the show, what do you think the future of roller derby is? And if it's not the juniors, it's always the open gender or the all gender.
Definitely.
So I think that's very very cool.
I will circle back to where I thought you were going to say something
I know.
else. I'm going to bring that up. It's okay to make mistakes. We are imperfect people.
Yes.
You can't double down on it. You can't be mad at other people for their feelings. And you don't get to decide how people feel about how you act or react to something that they've done or said or whatever. So when you're wrong, just say you're wrong and move on.
Yeah.
Ideally, do the right thing. Don't sort of double down on the mistake that you've made, and that is
Shift blame.
completely okay. Yeah,
Shift
right,
blame.
exactly. Not saying anything one way or another about anything. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's okay to be imperfect.
Yeah.
It's happened to the best of us, whether you're maybe using somebody's incorrect pronouns. Maybe you accidentally do say a skin color versus a jersey color. I think most people understand that this is something that can happen. And my best advice is to just make it right the best way you can as quickly as possible and move on.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, I've done it, and I apologize immediately.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize it. I was looking at this jersey,
Sure.
or I was looking at the number, and it was like that, and then I got caught up in it, and so it happened.
So I'm not gonna lie. It actually, not as an official, but even as a skater, a lot of times I will say like, "Great job, white. Great job, black," depending on what the jerseys are. This weekend, I said the wrong thing. I was mortified. As soon as the game was over, even before we took the team picture, like the group photo, I went and corrected it, and the individual let me know that everything was fine and that they appreciated me handling it how I did. And this is not to pat myself on the back, but it happens to the best of us.
I hear,
you've done live radio for 20 some odd years. You know what I mean? Like you're still going to make mistakes. You
heard the beginning of the show, right?
I've done probably 400 and some odd episodes of this show now, and I've still accidentally dropped an F-bomb on the radio, and I'm not saying these are the same things or comparing them. It's definitely apples to oranges in comparison, but it's just to point out that despite how much experience you have, despite how many times you've done something, you might get it wrong that last time, and that's fine. Just make it better. Be a good person, try and learn from the scenario and move on.
Definitely. There you go, and I agree 100%. And it's like, accept the fact that you did it and make it good, immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I'm not a judgy fella, so this is just me saying
It's
stuff.
been a really bizarre week for things with a lot of
so
people
many
dying,
things. Yeah.
It's just
right? Weird times. Yeah, and lots of feelings about people and their behaviors and the lives that they used to lead and who they are now. And lots of people have a lot of feelings these days, so it is not a bad time to remind you to try and be a reasonable, kind person, because people, good or bad right now, there's just a lot going on for all of us in almost every aspect. We, at no point were we, and this is like a quote that I read somewhere or from somebody, it was on Facebook, but it's a great quote, and it's something like, we weren't meant to know every awful thing that happens, and now we do. Like, every bad thing that ever happens, pretty much ever, every good thing, it's just all the things we're continually bombarded with horrible stuff and less good stuff, but whatever. So just be a kind person.
This is the my friend always says it. This is the worst timeline ever.
It really, it is not great. In all the timelines, there's got to be a better one, but we're doing okay. We myself and the Cash Man are happy and healthy, and we hope you are too. So be a kind person and spread joy where you can. Cash, why don't you tell me a little bit about your week before we just keep storing the pot up?
Well, I'm going to go pretty quick because it wasn't anything spectacular. I'm really was bummed out by Ozzy dying this past week.
That one sucks for sure.
It just really brought back the last time we saw him.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we had a good time. We missed out on Stone Sour because of bad traffic, but beyond that, that was a great show.
I think we heard him play like one or two songs.
A little bit, when we were coming in, but. And so that was a bummer, and because I do a pro wrestling show, obviously Hulk Hogan passing away. I don't want anybody to die. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't love the guy, but I don't want anybody to have like a heart attack and die. You know what I mean?
So, and then obviously Malcolm Jamal Warner, also from the Cosby Show, passed away.
Chuck Mangione,
Rochester,
Come on.
I worked down the street from the House of Guitars, and they had had Ozzy up on the front of the window for a while. Now it's Chuck and Ozzy up there.
Sure.
And it's like, so it was like, just it was a very exhausting
week.
Yeah, very exhausting week. Today I just moved and lifted and constructed and built and moved and did a bunch of things, and so it was like I was in buildings without AC.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of hot week.
They just turn it off in the summers, right?
No, they're putting new units on the roof, and so it's like they had to.
Yeah, you're right. You did tell me that.
Yeah, so it was hot days, and it was like we borrowed a truck and we delivered things, and it was just so it was like one of those physical weeks. I hadn't done anything like that in a while, so it's like, man, I was like thinking Nap City when I got out of work, but I did not because I needed to get some stuff done, and but Man, I'll tell you, it was a very busy week, and I'm happy that it's coming to the end. I'm glad this weekend we've got Rock City Roller Derby playing Twin Cities. We're going to see my baby daddy tomorrow is going to be in town.
Oh, MBD's coming to
Yeah,
town?
yeah,
Nice.
he's a coach. He's coaching.
I guess I did not realize that. That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll make it out that way, but
And it's also the Pride bout, and we're going to have performers, drag performers at halftime.
Nice.
Also doing commentary with me, so
Sure.
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'll
I'm
be
terrible with
fascinating.
anybody else. I apologize, and then it's like now I'm going to have somebody. It's like, yeah. My problem is, and I think I'm going to probably have to retire from announcing soon, is because my hearing's going bad, and if I can't hear the person I'm talking with doing
I
derby,
mean, you could also just get like a hearing aid, old man.
yeah, well, yeah, something, but it's like
Or like
if we had like the real kind of like where headsets where you could hear the person talking next to you.
or get some of those good like high quality earplugs that like feed the good acoustics in and
Yeah.
block out the bad
I'll
stuff.
figure something out, but,
Yeah.
but it's just I'm worried now because I don't hear that well, and I don't want to step all over anybody.
But it's also like it's a small venue that doesn't really allow the sound to go like back or
True.
anything too. So especially when you're it's always hard to hear somebody through a microphone when you're sitting next to them or standing
like when we
next to 'em.
when we were in the dome, we had those giant dome speakers. I could hear
Sure.
everything,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like maybe you're right, just the setup and everything. But
Yeah.
but I'm excited about that. That's going on tomorrow, and it's like there's 2 bouts going on. It'd be a lot
Nice,
of fun.
yeah.
But beyond that, this weekend, nothing. You know, I mean. We've got the NAQs a week from this week. A week from now, I guess, would be the NAQ start.
Do
in
they
Mass.
aren't they just Saturday and Sunday, or are they Friday?
It's
too?
Friday. I thought it was Friday, Saturday.
They
and
might
Sunday.
have like 2 games or something Friday.
Yeah,
You're right.
So that's so we got a busy time coming. How
Yeah,
was your
3rd
week?
through the 6th, I think, right?
First through the 3rd.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
The second is Saturday. So
Sure, you're right. You're
yeah,
right.
so but
Cool, man. Yeah, no, I've had a good one. I've had a fair amount of derby stuff too, which is great. So Friday we drove down to Philly. So myself, Dick, Double N, of course, Anderson, and H&L actually joined us because we drove down to Camden, New Jersey, for the aquarium.
yeah.
They have a pretty decent aquarium there. You can spend like pretty much like a full like 2.5 hours in there. They have a couple of like places where you can pet like starfish and stingrays and like bull sharks, stuff like that, very small ones. So we enjoy the aquarium there. Plus they have hippos. They have 2 female hippos, which is pretty cool. They are AZA accredited, so they do a lot of really good work in like rehabilitation and stuff like that. So it's great to see. And these hippos are fantastic. It was really awesome to see like Anderson kind of enjoy all the different animals and stuff. What's really cool is we got there just in time for the hippo feeding. So they have like a trainer come out and he like tells you different hippo facts, and then he throws like full heads of bok choy into this big hippo tank, this huge tank. And like you can see like under the water, plus there's like an upper viewing area. So it's cool. You can see the hippos like go underwater, but they can't hold their breath. They're not, they're still mammals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they can't breathe underwater basically. So they would go down and then like pop up to get the bok choy. And the first time like Anderson saw one of these hippos really close, he made like the cutest little like noise, and it was just like the most adorable little thing, and he got like so excited for it, and it was
Awesome.
really cool to see his interaction. Yeah, we had a good time at the aquarium. That night, the main reason that we went down was for myself and Double N to go see Bill Murray,
Yeah.
the band, of course. I've talked about them quite a bit. They are up there on like my favorite bands in the last couple of years. Amazing show. Like they are an amazing live band, as close to a perfect show as you could get, pretty much. The venue was amazing. We had an awesome time. But God, Philly people just suck. Like I hate them. They're so rude. So like we were standing near like the bar off to one of the sides. Now this is a pretty big venue, probably like a 2,000 to 4,000 capacity. I'm unsure. It was a sold out show, so I get that it's a little bit busy because Bill Murray is like very much up and coming. Like has just played at like South by Southwest and all the like cool like hippie festivals. Was supposed to play at Bonnaroo before they canceled it, stuff like that.
Shut down.
Yeah. But people are just like so rude. We're not even like near the pit, and we're getting like knocked around and pushed into and bumped into for people trying to like get by. And nobody says sorry or excuse me or anything, and like it just makes me sad. And like Philly people suck.
Except for our
I
friends
know
who
we have
skate
like
there.
a lot of great friends who are from Philly who in fact do not suck. So this is not like an entire blanket statement. Let me clarify. I do love a fair amount of people from Philly.
Sure.
But the people at that concert, those Philly people and wherever they were from were just bad people.
They probably just came from Jersey. And
Probably,
Jersey people suck.
Jersey sucks. Yeah, Jersey sucks too. The next day we got ready and we went to the market there, Reading Terminal Market. We love it. It's just like a big public market with restaurants and like food carts almost and little like specialty stores. Get a bunch of snacks. We hit the road after that for Cleveland to get ready for roller derby tournaments. So Saturday was mostly a chill day. We did make it in time to catch one game, the last game of the day. I think it was Wisconsin and Cleveland or something like that. So
a friend of mine who announces was played on Wisconsin.
Nice.
Yeah,
very
so,
cool.
so I thought that was pretty cool.
It was a good time. We had a good weekend. Sunday was a lot of fun, of course. Tampa is a great team, and they kind of kicked our butts. Of the teams that played Tampa that weekend, we did manage to do the best, which was great.
Yeah.
Held them
I looked at
to-
the score, and it wasn't like, I mean, to me, that wasn't like a...
We didn't get like blown out or
Yeah.
anything like that. They beat us by for every point we scored, they scored 4 or whatever, basically. So I think they beat us by 150, right?
Yeah.
So not the worst, not the best, but they are. I want to say somewhere in the middle of the rankings. They might be like 20th or something like that. So
And they're brand new, right?
Yeah, they're up there. They're a little bit brand new, but they've got a fair amount of people who play for the Tampa Lifted team.
Yeah.
And they were one of the most like fundamentally sound teams that we've ever played against. It was like we had to work really hard for all of those points. Their blockers, despite having a size advantage on us, were just so good. And that game is proof positive that it doesn't matter what gender, if you are a trans individual, if you are a big 250-pound man. I'm 284 probably right now. And I was getting my butt kicked by some of these smaller humans. So, that like biological advantage that people think there is in some sports is just insane.
I remember we had someone on right before they debuted their team. We had them on. They were playing, I can't remember what tournament it was, but we had someone from Tampa come on the show.
Was it a couple? Wasn't it 2 people maybe?
I think that might have been Dallas or
Oh,
Dialhala.
was it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the
That
Lady
was
Callie and
Yeah, there
Tally.
you go. I forget.
But it was someone else. But they had just
gotcha.
it was their debut, and it was earlier this year. So I just go back in time and look at our old shows.
Yeah,
But,
we had a great time against the Chicago B team. It was great to end the season on a win, our only win of the season, so that felt good.
it was tough because you should have beat Cleveland.
We
Okay.
we really gave that one up,
Yeah.
So we could say buts and should have,
Sure,
and
yeah,
we beat ourselves in the end. I don't know. So I know we're running out of time here because we got a 35-minute interview, which we'll probably have to cut short at this point. But I'm torn. I feel pretty okay.
Yeah.
Anybody who's been listening knows I've had some back issues, or if you've been following along on Facebook, I've been dealing with it. I think I can reasonably get back to it sometime. I think that we are done for the year at least, and we're taking, about a month off before we get back to practice here.
Sure.
So I'm probably going to work on strengthening it. I've lost some weight because of the weight loss meds that I've been on, which I've talked about as well.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to do a little bit more in the gym and start, like now that I've got this nerve block, I want to kind of work out a little bit
And
more.
it's feeling better? I mean, that's definitely...
It's not bad, you know. I don't really have like a baseline for what feels great, you know, so that's really hard to be like, today is a good day, but almost every day I'm typically in some type of pain.
Sure.
So having some days where it's less is great. So it does feel good. We'll see what like the outcome really is, but I also hadn't skated much at all or played at all or even practiced. So it just so happened that we had room with the available people who were able to go. So I'm lucky that I was able to play and sort of do things again how I wanted to if this ends up being the end. Last, I will say, I was able. My friend Lola Cholo, who we've had on the show from Texas, was here.
Yeah, or two days ago.
Yeah. Came out from Houston. I think she lives in the Houston area.
Yeah.
Came out and did like one of the celebrity edition trainings.
I see Yeti is too.
Right, yeah, that's unbelievable, right? Yeti's coming up. Yeah, we did. I helped Lola do the Rochester area junior roller derby practice on Wednesday. So we had a good time. I was able to kind of help facilitate a little bit. I did not skate because of everything else that's going on. But it was great. It was lovely to have a friend in town. She was literally here for like 24 hours, like got in at like dumb early and then had some time to herself, like skated on the trail, and then we met at the practice space, and she came over after practice and met the baby and stuff.
Very
and
cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. So it was great to see her and get back to juniors practice. It had been a long time since I've helped there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I get to relax a little while. I have summer affair coming up. The nice thing there is it doesn't mean anything, and I can participate as much or as little as I want. You know, my ticket's already paid for.
Yeah.
They've already got the shirt printed, you know what I mean? So I'm going for sure. Going to go see my friends, including Marv from Penn Jersey Roller Derby, someone who I appreciate quite a bit. I know I went a little bit over time. There is some news. That's all right. Go check it out.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Just one last plug for Rocz City
Sure,
tomorrow.
yeah, of
Rocz City
course.
doors open at 3. First game's at 4.
Yeah.
Second game's at 6. Something like that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a drag show at halftime.
Nice.
And it's our
Halftime of which game?
The
Or
first
do you
game.
mean- okay.
First game.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And
yeah, if you're in the area, come check it out.
Yeah.
We'll be. I might not be, but we'll be at the Dome tomorrow. First game at 4.
here at Harrisburg on Sunday. Salt City's playing in Harrisburg on Sunday. They're playing the Harrisburg area roller derby. I love their name, Hard, and so that and with and also the Bucksmont roller derby's playing a game as well. So that's going on Sunday.
I love that this says Salty City.
Salty City.
Salty City Roller Derby. They correct it in future mentions, but yeah, it says Salty City. I like that a lot.
All right, let's get out of here, man.
Well, we're going to go take a trip to Salty City.
Yeah.
You're going to listen to most of our interview with Marv from Penn Jersey Roller Derby. We love you guys. Thank you.
See
We'll
ya.
see ya.
You're unbelievable.
Like I say, George will be here.
Welcome back to Derby Rocks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's another Friday
Hey.
Yeah, it's funny. I just had
We
to
are
find
live
Lola
in studio, which is always exciting. It's also exciting that we have a
You
really
you can
fascinating
listen to the
guest
rest
on
of the show if you go to
I'm super excited to talk to
rochesterfreeradio.com.
her. We are
See you guys.
joined by Marv